Good afternoon and welcome, ladies and gentlemen. I'm here this afternoon to discuss white collar crime and how this type of crime has become far more serious than that of blue collar crime. White collar crime relates to crime that is financially motivated and committed by businesses as well as government professionals. Peter Day, who is a director at a number of ASX listed companies, believes that white collar crime is committed due to the perpetrator being under some kind of pressure, be it personal or professional, that is affecting their judgment. Ari Friedberg, who is an emeritus professor of law at Monash University and the chair of the Victorian Sentencing Council, believes that white collar crime is simply a matter of greed, where a person is sucked into illegality due to the dysfunctional nature of a firm, and the problem continues to spiral out of control until resolved, which is quite often in the courts. There is no doubting the serious nature of white collar crimes and the effect that they can have on not only the companies involved but also the wider community. White collar crimes can range from simply stealing $50 from the till to stealing hundreds of millions of dollars. The Australian Securities and Investment Commission has labelled Australia a paradise for white collar criminals, with ASIC investigators stating that they've only just hit the tip of the iceberg when it comes to white collar crime in Australia. Many believe the sentencing for these type of crimes in Australia is not harsh enough, and there are growing cries for those committing them to be dealt with more severely. Very recently in Australia, we have seen Sydney accountant Regina Submarinum fleece her employer ING Holdings out of $45 million. For this crime, she only received a 15-year penalty, which many believed wasn't harsh enough, and they were disgusted in it. There is no doubt that these types of crimes are far more serious than some of their blue-collar counterparts, largely due to the massive number of people that they can affect. White-collar crime is often perceived as a victimless crime, which can make it a lucrative target for some, but this couldn't be further from the truth. This culture of victimless crime is something that can't be changed overnight. There is no quick fix, and society as a whole needs to work together to better educate themselves about the consequences of white-collar crime and just how devastating of an impact it can have. White-collar crime isn't victimless at all, as there is a loss of money, which in the case we discussed above was $45 million from over 900 clients. There's also a loss of opportunity, as well as the perpetrator being a victim of circumstance, a view which is also shared by Peter Day. The effects of white-collar crimes are not only felt by those closest, they're felt by those with a vested financial interest. The effect is also largely felt by the family and friends of the perpetrators and victims, as well as the effect that it can have on the community, which cannot be compared to anything else. This is the exact reason why white-collar crimes are just as serious as blue-collar crimes, and not many people in society are aware of the seriousness as well as the prevalence of white-collar crime. When viewing the interview in the Keep It Real series, the man who committed the crimes in question can be quoted to say that white-collar crime is just as serious as murder. This man has torn apart his family, his community, and spent an extended period of time in jail for the crimes he's committed. So no one's in a better position than him to inform us of the severity of white-collar crimes, and just how damaging this type of crime can be, and the butterfly effect the consequences can have on the wider community. There is no doubting the fact that white-collar crimes are more serious than blue-collar crimes. Nowadays, with technology as well as the globalisation of the economy, white-collar criminals are able to operate in an international market which provides only more opportunities for their crime, as well as increasing the scope for potential chaos. We only have to look at the far-reaching effect these types of crimes can have to see just how severe they can be. Many have argued for stricter sentencing when it comes to white-collar crime, which goes to show that more and more people are beginning to become aware of just how damaging it can be. With technology ever on the improve, now is a time to use those who commit such crimes as an example for the rest of the community, and hope that a stricter sentencing and a harsher punishment will act as a deterrent for the future. We've seen this kind of crime ruin lives before, and the wide-reaching, devastating effect it can have on communities, which underpins just how serious this kind of crime is. To revisit the Keep It Real video, the perpetrator destroyed his own life, as well as his family's and close friends, as well as his community, which is a substantial impact for the actions and decisions taken part in one man. And I don't think anybody would wish that upon their community. Thanks.